episode of All Things Honor, as we are reviewing episode 16. That's right, 16 episodes of Ring of Honor. And it is our last tapings in Orlando because it seems as if Ian Riccaboni confirmed what we all knew, that Ring of Honor is now going to be taped before Collision. I don't like this decision. There's another decision I don't like later on in this episode, but I don't like this decision because I feel like the Orlando crowd has had the best episode of Ring of Honor so far. Anytime that they film before Dynamite, after Dynamite, episode always is bad. The crowd's not into it. So I feel like this is a poor decision. But can't judge it till I watch next week's episode. So here we go. So we start off with a Matt Sydal promo. Sydal says that throughout his entire career, he has always gotten what he has wanted by grabbing the microphone and asking for what he deserves. He also says that he has always been on the heels of defeating Joe, but he's never gotten the job done. But now that he's an adult, now that he is taking things a little bit more seriously, he's no longer a kid. He's going to defeat Joe to become TV champion. Joe then bounces back and says that he respects Sydal, but he wants to teach him why he's the most dominant TV champion in all of Ring of Honor history. As I said a couple days ago, I don't like they did this match. I also don't like how Zack Sabre Jr. is not going to wrestle Joe at Forbidden Door. I don't understand this. We have built towards this, right? I don't understand. Like they had Zack Sabre Jr. face off with Orange Cassidy. And like that's gonna be the match of Forbidden Door. But we've been building this match with Zack Sabre Jr. and Samoa Joe here. Like, are we gonna wait before Death Before Dishonor? I thought it made a hell of a lot more sense to have it at Forbidden Door. I don't get it. I'm a little confused. I'm also confused as to why we had to have this match again. Because at the end of the day, Joe beat Seidel clean. I don't get it. I also don't understand. Like Mark Briscoe calls out Samoa Joe, and I'm just like, there's so many other people that deserve a title shot in this company. Like, can you pick another title? My God. Um, as far as the match goes, it was really short, which I was really surprised about because like they hyped this up and it was really short. But Seidel did get a lot of offense, but it took one wrong move for Joe to hit the muscle buster and eventually get the win. But the Code of Honor was a hero too, and now Joe moves on to whatever's next. If it's not Zack Sabre Jr. and we're building towards this for no reason, I am going to be very upset. Next, we had Damos, who I had the pleasure of working with. Super excited to see his Ring of Honor debut against Nick Camarado. And I will say, Nick Camarado's song is legit a parody of a Bon Jovi song. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't. What a heel. We love New Jersey, right? And this was a really hard-hitting match. It was basically two men just beating the shit out of each other. Camarado's gained a new attitude since leaving QT Marshall, which is great. I think Camarado should be used more. I think he's a really good wrestler. He gets the win here. And poor Damos. Oh, so close. Not his night. Maybe next time. But nice to see him here. I think that's the thing I like about Ring of Honor. Like there's so many indie stars that like get opportunities. Like we see Viva Van, we're gonna see Teal Piper, we see Notorious Mimi. It's great opportunities. Next, Mark Sterling says that he's acquired time for Tony Nese to get something off his chest, and the fans of Orlando are gonna be in for a treat. This was the funniest segment ever when we get to it. I was like, hell yeah. Next, we have the Iron Savages versus Tracy Williams and Rhett Titus. And the Iron Savages continue to impress every single time they are on Ring of Honor TV. I don't understand how they're not like top tier contenders for the Ring of Honor tag titles, but if you looked on Twitter, the Kingdom kind of called out like this is the thing that doesn't like make sense to me is they're having all these social media segments, and I understand like that's great. That's the point of social media to build in segments to carry on storylines. I work for a wrestling company and I try to tell them the same exact thing. However, they're like they have this important thing where the Kingdom go up to Stokely Hathaway and they're like, "Yeah, I want a tag title opportunity at Death Before Dishonor." Don't you think that's a little bit of importance to put on the Ring of Honor TV episode? I don't understand. I'm a little confused. I don't get it. Like that's what pisses me off. I'm like these important things. And then like you're building a whole storyline here. You're not gonna put it on TV. The AEW casuals would be so confused if you did that on AEW programming, but let's do it. Let's do it for Ring of Honor. I have so many issues with Ring of Honor at the moment. I can't believe it. Anyway, not talking about that. William the Titus are always impressed as well. It sucks that they've like never really been on the winning end of things, but I feel like they're kind of just brought in to put other talent over, and I feel like that's why the Kingdom is here as well. But Iron Savages, they win, and looks like they're building them up. So I don't really know what the plans are for the Lucha Bros at Death Before Dishonor, but there's a lot of tag teams that want those tag titles, so they better watch out for that. The Workhorsemen cut a promo next. JD Drake and Anthony Henry are very upset that FTR is not here because obviously last week they attacked them at their six-man match, but they are happy that Mark Briscoe is here. Anthony Henry is set to wrestle Mark Briscoe, and they want to send a message to FTR. Again, why are the AEW Tag Team Champions being featured in Ring of Honor storylines? Why? I was told this wasn't supposed to happen, Tony Khan. I don't understand. Next was Diamante versus Teal Piper. Teal Piper got a lot of offense in this match. I was really shocked. And I think that was the recurring theme is a lot of the people they brought in for this episode, like not people that are contracted to AEW or Ring of Honor, got a lot of offense in. That was nice to see. And I will say, like, I feel like a lot of people forget that Diamante signed. She was one of the first women to sign with AEW, like in that beginning class with like Britt and Kylie and like that crew. And she's killing it. She's on a winning streak. I believe she's 3-0 now. And I find it very interesting because she looked into the camera. She's like, Tony Khan, I deserve better. Which also confuses me because as we're going to get to Kiera Hogan and Athena and what they're doing next week, it's like you could have built a tag team match of like Kiera Hogan and Diamante versus Athena and a mystery partner to build towards the pay per view. But that's a whole other problem to itself. But keep that in mind because what if Kiera Hogan wins the title and then her versus Diamante at Touch Sports on? That'd be kind of cool. Next is Tony Nese versus Serpentico. So Tony Nese basically cuts his whole promo saying that he realizes that he cannot connect with the fans, but he respects the fans. He wants to know why he can't connect with them. And then he realizes the reason he cannot connect to the fans is because they are fat and disgusting. While he's the varsity athlete, so they're fit, they're in shape, they eat well. So now he's like, yeah, we're gonna do some group exercises. They start by doing some stretches, they move into squats, and they try to do push-ups, and then Serpentico drops. This was really funny, and I mean, the varsity athlete, I feel like they're gonna have a huge presence in Ring of Honor, and this was a way to like cement themselves. This was fantastic. I love this. And I will say, for Serpentico being a jobber, because that's what he's like presented as in AEW. He's shown his own Ring of Honor. My God. Nese gets the win here, but run this back. This was great. Put Angelico in here, do Tony Nese and Ari Daivari, make that a feud, because that was great. Kiera Hogan has a promo, or should I say Athena, because Athena dressed up and mocked Kiera, which was really funny. And she starts saying that she invented the hair color blue and that she fakes injuries for attention. And Hogan attacks her from behind and tells her to keep her name out of her mouth. So, like I said, we're going to get into this whole rant when we get to Athena's match against Shujadora. Because I have some words for Tony Khan. Next, we have Notorious Mimi versus Miranda Alizé. And New Jersey represent Notorious Mimi. Woohoo! Alizé has been someone that you need to look out for on these Ring of Honor episodes. I mean, if you were not watching the Ring of Honor Women's Championship Tournament in 2021, you would know that Miranda Alizé was in the finals against Roxy, who is now Roxanne Perez in WWE. Crazy. Um, this was a good match. Miranda had a lot of offense, but Mimi got her stuff in as well, and it looks like she's trying to build momentum to get a shot to wrestle Athena. So it looks like Athena's getting more challengers, and since it looks like it's not going to be Kiera Hogan at the pay-per-view, looks like we need somebody else to wrestle her. So maybe it'll be Miranda Alves. I don't think it will, but you know. Next is the Righteous and Stu Grayson versus Dalton Castle and the boys. And Grayson fits so perfectly with the Righteous. I was so like questionable about this. I was like, this is either gonna go really, really bad or really, really good. And oh my god, this is so, so good. He got the win for them. It's just like a perfect mold. I love it. And they dominated Castle and the boys, which I was also really shocked by. But Righteous picking up wins left and right. But Dark Order had a lot to say about this one. So Silver says that they can get a lot more violent than the Righteous can ever be. Reynolds says that they've seen several Dark Order members leave throughout the last couple of years and they've done nothing about it, nothing to stand up for themselves, and now it's finally time to stand up for themselves. And Evil Uno even says, the Righteous are not his brothers, that if you're down and about, they're going to leave you, where we've always been there for you in your worst of times, your best of times, and only time will tell of what happens next. So I'm going to assume that, like, this match is going to happen at Death Before Dishonor. If I'm certain about one thing that's going to happen at Death Before Dishonor, it's going to be the six-man match. There's probably going to be a stipulation. Let's just leave it at that. Next, we have my favorite thing ever, which is a Proving Grounds match for the Ring of Honor Women's World Heavyweight Championship. So I will give Trish Adora credit because out of all the Proving Ground matches that we've seen on 16 episodes of Ring of Honor TV, Trish Adora had lasted the most time with Athena and she's gotten the most offense in. So I will give that to her. Athena moves to 26-0. She just defeats her, Trish Adora. And Athena's beating down Adora after the match ends. Kiera Hogan runs out to save her. The two get into a brawl. This week's weapon was a trash can. Security tries to break them up. That obviously didn't work. Kiera brings the table, and Athena spears her. And now these two women get helped to the back. So now you're thinking, like, okay, this is going to be like such a heated feud into the pay-per-view. It's going to be great. Like, it's going to be a no DQ. It's going to be fantastic. But oh, wait till what happens after Anthony Henry versus Mark Briscoe, because they fooled us all. They fooled us. So now we have Henry versus Mark Briscoe, and this match hit. This was so good. Henry's such a great wrestler, and when he eventually is going to break away from JD Drake, he's going to be one of the best singles competitors in Ring of Honor. Briscoe's on a roll right now as well. I mean, he's shown us that even before this new era of Ring of Honor, and I think he's doing some of his best work in his career. Briscoe gets the win and sends a message to Joe saying he wants another shot at the TV title. But again, we've been like, did we forget about Zack Sabre Jr.? Hello? Like what? Like he's not in the G, like unless someone's gonna correct me, he's not in the G1. So I don't understand. Unless he is in the G1. And then I'm just like, why were we building to this match? It's never going to happen. Weird. And now we have the Tony Khan. So Tony Khan says the board of directors are doing such a great job, and Hathaway has had so many great ideas, including what sparked our main event for the six-man titles. And Stokely's like, I have another great idea. Since we're going to Chicago next week, let's do a Chicago street fight with Athena and Kiera Hogan. I don't get it. To my knowledge, this is the first time there will be a stipulation women's match in Ring of Honor, which means it should have a big fight feel, which would make sense for it to be at the pay-per-view. You could have built this for another month. Like I said, Kiera and Diamante, build off of that. Like a theme doesn't have to be featured every week. That's another thing. So I don't understand. I don't comprehend. I'm very upset that this is not happening at the pay-per-view. I don't know if like something's gonna happen in this match to lead to this match happening at the pay-per-view eventually, but you've been building this. This is like the hottest feud you've had for Athena, and I don't understand. Unless you're gonna run back Athena in Sky Blue and you're gonna give Sky Blue her moment in Trenton, I don't get it. I was very upset by this. Very, very upset. Next, crazy enough, we had this Pure Rules match between DKC and Daniel Garcia. And they didn't even film this in Orlando. They filmed this before Dynamite, like last week. So, like, that was the first time it's ever happened. I was like, this is kind of weird. So, first of all, Matt Bernard on commentary is the best thing ever. He needs to be on some type of commentary every single week. I know he was on Dark Elevation, but my God, he's great. He's so funny. Garcia's looking to build momentum. I don't know if he's gonna get Shibata at Death Before Dishonor or Forbidden Door because it looks like it could be either one at this point. But he wins in 10 minutes, and he's looking to get back his pure title. Next, we have the Embassy promo. The Embassy is looking for more serious competition. Cage says that Andretti's 15 minutes fame are up. Mar and Shield partners on the show, so that they're not even a real team, and they've already defeated AR Fox, so they got this in the bag. Prince Nana also adds that they can line everybody up, but the result remains the same. The Embassy on top, and in Swerve they trust. Notice how Swerve's the only one without gold. Interesting. Next, I'm so happy for my girl Viva Van. She was featured. Hell yeah. Even though this match was really quick, Van did get a lot of offense throughout it, but Blue's been on a roll. She's been having great matches on the live events. She just had that huge, awesome match with Tony this past weekend on Wednesday, and TK sees a lot in her. It's really only a matter of time till she wins gold. Maybe they're gonna run her and Athena back, and they're gonna have her win the title on the pay-per-view, and Athena's gonna go up to AEW. Don't really know what the plan is, but Sky Blue, team all the way, racks up another win. And then we're in our main event. This match was fun. I mean, Andrade, Fox, and Martin, they're always going to put on a good show. In my opinion, I don't think they can ever put on a bad match. The Embassy's also doing some, I don't know why the lights are like flickering on and off. The Embassy's also doing some great work as well. There were multiple times throughout this match that it looked like the non-champions had a chance to win, but Brian Cage is currently 30-0 in Ring of Honor, and I don't believe that streak is ending anytime soon. Overall, I thought this match was okay. I mean, I am really upset that it looks like we're not getting that women's match at the pay-per-view. I think that is really stupid. I think that's what we were building towards, and I just don't get it, to be honest. The match would be great, though. I think Kara and Athena are really going to show out, and, maybe it'll lead to something at the pay-per-view. Don't really know. But looks like Florida tapings are ending, and every week we're going to be taping at Collision, which is great because I'm going to the July 22nd episode of Collision. So I'll be there to watch Ring of Honor live. Yay! So, and also that'll be great because that'll be the Death Before Dishonor post Ring of Honor episode. That should be good too. And that's it for me. Thank y'all for watching this episode of All Things Honor, and we'll be back next week with Ring of Honor TV episode 17.